I'm Sandy O'Connor, and I'm the Director of Accounting Operations here at UW Credit Union. I've been with the organization for just over 12 years. I joined in 2011 when our asset size was $1.5 billion, and our accounting operations team totaled 6 people. Today, we're over $5 billion in assets, and we have 13 team members, which is now split between accounting operations and our FP&A team. Back in the day, I would download all the GL balances on a giant spreadsheet, and I would have trends, and I would examine the trends and look for weird fluctuations, and I would look for things that were missing, and I would complete an Excel spreadsheet that I would send out to the team. And that's a manual process, and sometimes I found things, and sometimes I missed things. It's super easy to miss something when you're just looking at a sheet, and just working from the top to the bottom. Up until we started on ART, our GL recs were done on these Excel forms that it's fairly standard, but they were created by us, and we had links to documentation and to support, and people would have to keep rolling those forward and rolling those into a new month-end folder. And again, we tracked the completion of these on a giant Excel chart of accounts that we would print off, and it was super thick, and everybody would handwrite their initials next to their recs. And then I would handwrite my initials saying that I reviewed it. And again, the process took a long time. We would find mistakes, just careless mistakes, where someone would be in the June 2020 month-end folder, and they're preparing their July rec, but they're just overwrote over the top of their June rec, and just all of these things. And it was a struggle. It was frustrating. And obviously, auditors never really cared for our Excel tracking sheets. Nothing's date time stamped. Again, you can put whatever you want, and you couldn't really track the status of this. My review process, I would review the recs, and many of my review notes would say things like, the date's wrong on your rec, or the transaction date's wrong on your rec. But this is all automated with ART, and the team doesn't have to pay the same amount of attention to that, because again, the system just does it for you. My old rec review process, I would really have to psych myself up to do this. I would wait, again, they were due on the 15th. I would wait until about the 17th, and I would open up the tracking sheet on this screen, and I'd open up all of my cash accounts on this screen and just start going through them one by one. And then if I found a mistake, I'd have to go to my tracking sheet, and I'd have to log it there, and I had my review notes, exactly. And I'd send emails saying, hey, these are the corrections I need, and you need to get them done by this date, and I'd have to hassle people to get it done. Now I don't have to do that. I can just spend a half an hour at the end of every day taking a look at recs. Once they're completed, some of them are completed on the 2nd or the 3rd. I can reconcile those. I can complete those and complete my review on that day before we're even closed. It just makes the whole process so much less stressful to do it in pieces rather than spend a whole day. Hated that day of the month. So system reconciled. A decent chunk. If there's no changes, or if there's zero balance there, it's fun to finalize those, because it's just simple. Click, 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 done.
Yeah.
It's a decent percentage, which I should know this, but I don't know off the top of my head. My team really loves the visuals that are in there. They know exactly what's due. I know exactly what's due. I know exactly what's past due. That in and of itself, and again, the task list. Then there's documentation that it's been reviewed. There's documentation that somebody has looked at it, and if somebody checked off a task and they didn't do it, then I hate to use the word falsifying, but did you look at it or did you not look at it? So it's just nice to have the documentation that it has been reviewed, and we can show an auditor or a regulator when they're here. Here's our proof. This is everything. I looked on the CUNA Finance Council message board just to see what was available, what other organizations were using. And based on that, I had reached out to 3 vendors, SkyStem and Blackline and Flowcast. Our main criteria at the time was mostly just a reconciliation package that would improve our audit trails. So we demoed each of the 3, and then we realized, well, maybe we could use these systems for more. We needed exactly what art could give us. And during our due diligence process, it was an unexpected bonus that SkyStem is a woman-owned company. So, that was a plus for us. We mostly reached out via email. Usually we would get a response back, within 30 minutes. It wasn't uncommon at all. It's like, I left my desk and I came back and here's an answer. And in the beginning, we did have a lot of questions, and we would ask for like the cheater quick tips. But we're very comfortable with the system now, and we utilize this less. The questions that we do have now are more enhancements like, hey, did you ever think about doing this, or did you ever think about doing that? It's nice to be able to provide your examiners, here's everything. This is everything, and you can see it's date time stamped. Our audits got immediately better. They were fine before, but they were just immediately better. We could provide recs, again, date time stamped with submissions and the reviews and the approvals. Again, before I'd have to provide, this Excel rec with all these attachments and separate, and then this Excel sign-off sheet that just looked cheesy. Often, when we have internal audits, the internal auditors will ask for, so for example, today is October 19th. We're still in the process of finalizing our September recs, but I was asked for loan and deposit recs for an audit. Normally, what I would do is I would provide them the recs, and then I'd provide this one page of this giant Excel sheet, and it's incomplete. Somebody would show that they had submitted the rec and that I reviewed it, but then there's all this other missing information, and it looks like we didn't do anything. And again, how does that look to them? What's their interpretation of it? And again, now I just provide the recs, and the date timestamps are everything's already included on the rec. I can give them access to the system if I want, but I don't have to. I can just give them all the documents in a file if that's what they prefer. It's nice not to have those conversations. Everything just got immediately easier. The conversations were easier without feeling embarrassed of this Excel tracking sheet. It's just simply not a problem anymore. When we were looking at products, quickly we one of them we weren't going to choose, and then we had a demo of the final two software selections, and we presented that to the entire team. It made the process, I think, a little less scary for them, and we also had to make sure everybody realized that yes, this is different, but these are all the ways that your life is going to be easier. There's a learning curve in the beginning, but once you're over that, your life will be easier. My advice is to think about what you want. There's so many different software packages out there for so many different things, not necessarily just this, but so many times I feel like I'm being sold on the features of our product, and at the end of the day, we don't have any use for that. Those features sometimes seem very sophisticated, but they often add cost and complexity, and they don't fit inside the box that we needed to fit into. Art had exactly what we needed, and it's scalable, and we can maintain it in-house. It's great.